Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy David at the Irish Hotspur, Ireland's #1 Spurs fan. And today I'm just bringing you a few headlines that I do want to get on and discuss. But before we do, I want to welcome some people to the stream. We have the Clockwork Orange. Come on, I've watched that insufferable Jose hating thing on We Are Tottenham TV, and I need this. We have Dribble Piss. Of course, we're in debt. How do you think the stadium got built? Look, I'm going to address all this because I actually have an article courtesy of Lappers82, who is actually in the comments as well, that I want to address. He's asked me to address it, so I'm going to do it. We also have 92 Flamethrower. We have Lily White Lane. We have Lappers. We have Sean Moore, and we have Simon from Premier Hotspur TV. We have Thomas James Smith. We have Jiminy. And we have Dtrex Kane. Now, before I get into the article, I just want to say the super chat filter is available on my channel now. If you want to help take the Irish Hotspur to the very top, make sure you get in your super chats and your comments are guaranteed to be read out. But I just want to get into this article, basically addressing are we really 1.7 million in debt? Now, first of all, before I read it out, 1.2 billion of that debt is stadium, which is a mortgage. But I'm just going to read out this article for everybody. According to a report from football finance expert Kieran Maguire, who also works with Football London, and I'll get onto that in a minute, Daniel Levy and Tottenham have more debt than any other club in Europe. The Lilywhites currently possess a total debt of 1.17 billion, although a large fraction of the club's borrowing has been linked to the construction of their luxurious new stadium. Maguire's analysis revealed that Barcelona are second on the list with a debt of 1.05 billion. The construction of Tottenham's new 62,303-seater home has certainly come at a huge cost of 1.2 billion for chairman Daniel Levy. The Tottenham Stadium is among the most impressive on the planet, boasting of the world's first dividing retractable pitch, you bloody blah blah, a load of shit. We all know about that. So on to the most important
greatest stadium in the world, but that won't bring any fucking trophies. You know what I mean? Wow, what amazing!
Like 100%. As we get on to the most important part about the article, as per the report, Tottenham's gross debt equals 831 million, with a further 140 million in transfer debt, 96 million in tax debt, 9 million in trade creditors, and 102 million in other creditors. This contributes to a total debt of 1.177 billion. Now, first of all, 1.2 billion of that is for the stadium, which is like a mortgage. You know what I mean? You pay it off over 20, 30, 40 years, however long it takes you to pay. So 1.2 million of that for me is wiped straight away, because that's something you deal with over the years.
You're never going to pay off the stadium right away. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
actually, right now I am looking for a mortgage for a house, and I can explain it to people. Basically, you go, you get a realtor or, a real estate agent, right? You talk about it, you know what I mean, a house, or whether maybe sometimes you want to construct a house, right? How much will it cost? The yearly plan, how much you're going to pay that, monthly or yearly, and that, that's how it goes. You know what I mean? Now, like, just because you have a mortgage doesn't mean you're gonna, not gonna buy food, not gonna buy furniture, not gonna buy stuff that you need for your house. You know what I mean? That's what a mortgage is for. It's to allow you to get all those necessities that you need. Because paying off the stadium, which is what, like 2 billion, it's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen.
Yeah. Then I want to address the transfer debt. Look, a lot of that for me is clauses that would have been included, like the one Eric Lamela has, where he has to reach 20 Premier League goals and we paid him 10, 15 million, whatever it is, right? So for me, that's your transfer debt. The tax debt, I'm not 100% sure on what that is. I presume that's what's owed to government. But look, there's also loopholes and things around that. But look, what I say to you about that article is that this guy works for Football London. Now, this is a company that also put out an article saying we can't sign any foreign players, we have to sign English players, even though the board themselves put them in that situation, because in the summer they loaned out Skip and Sessegnon. Now, whereas if they didn't do that, the English quota wouldn't be a problem. So for me, in a way, there is substance to the report in terms of stadium, but everything else, honestly, I wouldn't really worry about it, because at the same time, Daniel Levy also took his bonus. We also signed 7 players in the summer. So if it was that urgent, there's no way Levy would have took the bonus, and there's no way we would have signed the players. Is there, Marcelo?
Yeah, no, and listen, if you're Enoch, right? Because I mean, I think Sem made a great point where what I mean, yeah, we may have spent the most net spend in the last 2 summers, but if you look at the last five, last five, like windows, we have spent less than anybody. You know what I mean? So the thing is, listen, you can call us Jose sexual, but at the end of the day, it's big. We see the bigger picture. You know what I mean? It's bigger than Jose. And you know what? Go ahead. I'm at this point. You know what, David? Go ahead, sack Jose. I hope it happens. Honestly, I do. I already said it in what was it? Charlie's channel. I hope he gets sacked. I hope he gets relieved of this fucking mess. I wish him all the best. He does not deserve this. You know what I mean? This guy went from playing with John Terry, you know what I mean, some of the greatest defenders of all time, with then they went to Eric Dyer and Davison Sanchez. You know what I mean? I've never seen
Yeah,
a bigger decline in my life. So you know what I mean? I hope he goes. I hope he gets sacked. I hope he gets that nice little paycheck. I hope we bring in the Nagelsmann just so you can fall flat on your face and realize how terrible this squad is. Because you know what? Get Nagelsmann, get Jose, like get Pochettino back, get any of these top attacking manager that plays the modern football style. You know what I mean? And we'll get absolutely rolled over. Watch us
yeah,
get lose 6-0. It's a
yeah.
joke.
Now back on the stadium, or back on the debt. We have also brought in a lad called Todd Kane to try and help us sell the naming rights for the stadium, which again is not only going to help pay off the stadium, but pay off some of these so-called debts. For me, honestly, looking at the article, it came out the 10th of February. So for me, the fact that it came out the 10th of February is also, look, we on this channel, we've been talking about the board long before then, right? But the 10th of February, in and around then, is when people talking about Enoch started picking up traction. Now, for me, it's another thing released by the club to these media companies to put out to basically shut us fans up. And look, I'm going to the point where I'm not stupid enough to fall for this shit anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we have owners who are worth $4 billion. So, overnight, if they wanted, they could clear the debts. And as well, look, honestly, I think it's just filling headlines, which brings me on to my next story in a minute. But big up Fiona Harris here with the €1 super chat. Look, make sure you follow her example, follow her lead. The super chat is available to everybody, and it helps me grow. And I'd be greatly appreciated if you could get them in. You know what I mean? Times are tough, and I try to bring the best content I can. I pay for like streaming platforms and stuff like that. So any little back really does help. But Marcelo, again, what do you make of the article? Do you think it's just filling papers?
I mean, come on, guys. We've all been supporting this club for how long now? You know what I mean? In every transfer windows, you know what I mean? It's not a coincidence, right? Every transfer window, every time it's near, I mean, the board has pressure on them to buy players. I mean, we saw in the summer when I mean, Joe Lewis said that we're not going to spend anything in the summer because we don't have any
Yeah,
money. I mean, how
and
many
football
times?
London.
Yeah, yep. How many times have we seen these news come up whenever the board has pressure on them? They always have an excuse. And in my opinion, right? Okay, we don't have any money. Okay, great. We don't have any money, right? But you don't spend fuck all. And yet somehow we don't have any money.
Yeah,
So, in my opinion, I'm looking at it where if we don't have any money and you're not spending nothing at all, then you're not even good enough to be an investor. You know what I mean? You're not even good enough to be running this club. Like
yeah,
David, we have spent the least out of any club, and yet somehow we're in debt. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That just goes to show that then there's like championship clubs better run than us. You know what I mean? That for me just goes to show that how much of a fraud these board was. Because isn't that what every Enoch lover say? You know what I mean? Every Enoch supporter, I always heard them say, "Oh, but they, I mean, they kept us financially stable. You know what I
yeah,
mean? They kept the wage bill stable. You know what I mean? We're well run club. You know what I mean? All of this and all of that, and then we hear that we've been in debt this whole entire time." So what's your excuse now for Enoch? Because that for me just says, okay, if you're not spending money and you're in debt, then something is wrong. You're doing
yeah.
something wrong. So Fix it. I don't give a fuck. Listen, I'm done. Like, I don't care what your excuses are. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, right? My boss, he tells me what to do. I have to do it. You know what I mean? If I say, oh, but
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? I mean, this is a little bit hard. Like I don't. My boss doesn't care. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna care. Do your job. I don't care. Fix it.
Yeah, 100%. And this brings me on to Paul Markey's comment. Most of that debt is long-term finance. To
Yeah.
meet the funding, you need a successful team bringing in commercial sponsorship deals and full stadium revenues. Yeah, first of all, I agree. Most of it is long-term finance, which doesn't affect us in the short term. You know, that's all finance that can be paid back over a number of years. So it does not affect us investing in the first team. You know what I mean? Aston Villa, look at the way they invested in the summer. No excuses. They've been up and down like a yo-yo Championship, Premier League. They made no excuses, and they invested in players, right? And for me, I actually think they have a good shot at Europa League spot this year, right?
They do.
And now, they didn't make any excuses why they couldn't sign players with quotas, with money investment. I can guarantee you they're in more debt than what we are. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Like, this whole thing, again, look, what annoys me, it's the company that put it out, really, to be honest with you. Or the company that your man kind of works with, which is like Football London, because, you know, they've also sold us a lot of dummies over the past. And it wouldn't surprise me if it was by the board released, put this out there, shut them up talking about us. Honestly, It really wouldn't surprise me. And I am not falling for it again. And in terms of you need a successful team bringing in commercial sponsorship deals and full stadium revenues, you've hit the nail on the head. Do you know what I mean? This is why I say, like, you know, you go and buy a quality player, it's a short-term loss, right? In the long term, you're going to get it back, because you're going to get, like, you know, the better squad you have, the more competition revenue you're bringing in, the more sponsors want to sponsor you. Do you know what I mean? All things like this. So, and funny enough, actually, in this article, there was nothing read about the sleeve sponsor there was nothing in it about the sleeve sponsor that came in or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? Which I find a bit strange personally. So for me, look, apart from the stadium finances, I genuinely don't think there's much running to this article.
Just excuses.
But anyway,
it's excuses again, and we're the only club that makes excuses for ourselves. We're the only club. If you do this at United, right? You do this at any club in the world, any big club in the world, they're gonna say, "We don't care. We're the fans. We deserve better than this. Do your job." Right? If this is Arsenal, right, and they're saying, "Oh, we don't have money," they're gonna say, "Load of shit. We come here every day. You have been failing for how many years? Fix it, or else we're gonna protest." Right? We're the only fan base that's like, you know what? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, let's make excuses. Let me make excuses for the club. I don't get it. And then these people say, and then these same people go and say, "Well, I want to see Spurs win the Premier League." Well, I'm like, well, if you keep making those excuses, you don't. You know what I mean? Like, it's simple as that. Like,
look,
I don't know.
Look, I was on the football terrace, and everybody knows this by now, right? But I sat there for an hour of listening, and I purposely let them go on about trophies most of the stream. They sat there, trophies, talking trophies. Now, for me, you definitely don't want winning trophies if you want to sack a serial winner. Do you know what I mean? So don't talk to me about trophies when you want to sack a serial winner.
But look at Nagelsmann achievement: 0 trophies, 0 something. But he got Champions League football, guys. Isn't that we love? That's an achievement, right? Champions League football. Oh yeah, let's all fucking talk about Nagelsmann. Let's talk about his great achievement. What achievement has Nagelsmann done compared to like Jose Mourinho? Like, oh man, come off your high horse, man. Honestly, like,
yeah.
What's going on? What have I missed, guys?
Well, before we move on to the next part of this discussion, do you want to talk about the article I read out? Because I know I did read it to you beforehand. Have you any thoughts on it, Charlie?
Yeah, so the article, I've seen a few people saying it here as well. The article's a weird one because, yes, it's correct in the sense that we are in debt for about £1 billion. But what people need to understand is that stadium debt is paid over a number of years. And look, obviously, it's not good to have debt, and it shouldn't be £1 billion. It should be about half of that. But the stadium went way over budget and stuff, and that's yet another fault of the board, yet again. But yeah, the debt for the stadium's paid over a number of years, and then other debt, as David said, I'm not sure. It's like probably clauses in player transfers that we haven't had to pay due to.
No, it is basically the transfer debt is like basically the transfer debt would be some installments on the end on better deal. You know, then you have clauses in Lamella's contract like he has to hit 20 goals. Now, for me,
believe that clause.
they put that contract in
that.
there on purpose because they knew it was never going to happen. So if they knew that was never going to happen, why buy the player?
Yeah. Look, listen. The thing is, right? Like we do this, right? And we get these players because they're 5 million less, right? And then the board goes, you know what I mean? Like, okay, let's talk about financial responsibility, right? Let's talk about, you know, because every time let's talk about the good things that Anik does, right? And let's really dissect it, whether they're good or not, right? We talk about Anik and we say, oh, but they're great at, you know, building financial stability and all that stuff, right? Yet they could have had the lit for cheaper. They could have had Bruno for 5 million more. They could have Jack Grealish for 6 million more. You know, they could have had all these great players.
Do you know what they offered? 3 million plus Josh Onoma.
Exactly.
And they could have paid 5 million to get the player.
They could have paid 5 million to get him, right? So you look at these, right? All these great financial decisions that Anik made, right? The reason why we're in the situation of all these deadwoods, right? Exactly what Will said. You know what I mean? Will said sell all the deadwoods. But the reason why they're there is because Anik is so fucking, you know, tight with their, you know, budget. You know what I mean? They're so tight that they're not willing to spend 2 or 3 or 4 extra million for a player that can get them over the hurdle. So then they go out there, they find whatever is cheaper, and then they buy it, and then they're like, oh crap, I overpaid for this cheap player because, you know what I mean, he only cost 20 million, but really, like, you know what I mean, he's shit. So I paid 20 million for this player. Now I want to get 20 million back. But then, like, nobody else who wanted to pay 20 million is like, no, you're an idiot. Like, I'm not gonna pay 20 million for that. Like,
it's the pure refusal to take a loss. That's what it is. They never want to accept
not
that they got it
responsible.
Wrong. They
it's
never
not
want to be
responsible.
Exactly. They never want to expect, because I hear Alistair Gold saying, oh, so we can sell Sanchez, but Tottenham are definitely not taking a loss on him. Absolute joke. Absolute joke. How can they expect to get that money back? How can they expect to get that money back? They're deluded.
Sorry, lads.
I'm sorry.
Just quickly, I do want to get onto a couple of these super chats while they're there. Sell all the dead. Will Stewart with $499. Big up, Will. Every little helps. I really do appreciate it. Sell all the deadwood. Sanchez, Lamella, Mora, Davies, Toby, Winks, etc. Bring in one centre back, one right winger for a gross spend of 120 million. No more Costco buying. Fully agree with you. Look, we all know that the problems are there. We have. Look, the problems are there. It's as simple as that. Like we have to. We have to sell the deadwood. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We have to sell the deadwood and start investing properly in this team.
We need to trim the squad.
Paul Markey here with a €10 super chat.
Oh, wow.
It's a change of board, not management, that's required. A board who will support the manager. 100% agree with you. And then we have James Watson with $5 Canadian. Big fan of you guys showing some support to my fave Spurs channel. Come on, you Spurs. And everyone follow James, follow Paul, and follow Will Stewart. Wayne Bonner, sorry. So follow Wayne, follow Paul, and follow James Watson.
Follow all of these guys that give the super chats because they're amazing. They're what help. They're what help. You know, David do these things. You know what I mean. David, you know what I mean. Obviously, you take a lot of your time to talk about Spurs, get the real news. You know what I mean. Let us have a voice. You know, and listen. There's no agenda here. We don't talk about agenda. We talk about what is and what's in front of us.
How it is. We just
say how it is. And if you want the truth, you want the real, just stick around.
100%.
100%. Look, what I say to people, there's no filter on this channel. There's no reasons why I can't talk about the board and discuss and issues that people haven't wanted to talk about in the past, which I will give credit for. They are starting to come out and talk about it now. I just want to take Wayne Bonner's super chat here of £5. Adair est facere. To be honest with you, I'm not good at languages, so I try to get that as best as possible.
Yeah,
which is hilarious to do.
Andreas
The board lived by what? The board lived by what? By that, with building the new stadium. Now they need to live with it by rebuilding the team to play in it.
Yeah.
Just on that comment, actually, what I'd say is to be honest with you, lads, I'd much rather be back in the lane and have a good squad winning games most weeks rather than be in
I'd rather be there winning trophies.
Where when fans go back in, the players are going to get booed and everything else. Do you know what I mean? There's going to be heat on Jose, even though it's not Jose's fault. For me, if I was back in that stadium, I'd be sitting there calling out Enoch. I'd make sure they heard me as well. But it is what it is. Now, moving on to the next plan for the conversation, lad.
Yep.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, listen. The only difference, I always said this, the only difference between Jurgen Klopp and Mauricio Pochettino, right, is that when Jurgen Klopp came to Liverpool, he steadied the ship. He got, a good starting 11. He got backed with 3 world-class players, right?
Van Dijk, Alisson, Fabinho, all these guys.
All the guys that he needed to go on and win a title, right? When Mauricio did the same, instead of that, he got pretty much a three transfer window ban and Lucas Moura. You know what I mean? Like, that is a difference. And he still reached a Champions League final. And he still reached a Champions League final. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's that's the only difference.
With the investment that Poch got, we weren't allowed to get anywhere near a Champions League final.
But as well, no one wants to talk about the league form. Everyone talks about the Champions League run. No one wants to talk about the league form that season.
It was awful. It was awful.
That was disgraceful, that league form.
Do you know what I mean?
Disgraceful.
Look, for me, we will get onto Jose and the Poch team later on in this. First of all, I just want to read this comment by DVV. Great appearance on the Chris Cowling podcast, Dave. You bossed it, mate. Yeah, look, what I said to you is I seem to be bossing a lot of talk shows lately. It's just the way the Irish Hotspur rolls. It's pure raw, it's pure passion, and it is what it is. But, lads, make sure you do get over and check Chris Cowling out. Great channel. This is the 3rd time he's had me on, and for me, it was probably the best discussion yet. We covered absolutely everything. Also, just quickly, I will be on Matty Hayes' channel from, I think it's 8 or half 8 tonight, talking about Hugo Lloris. And then on Wednesday, I'll be talking with Holly Agambar. Everybody knows who she is. She has her own Spurs channel. We'll be going on there and we're talking about a lot of things about Enoch and the board, and basically a lot of things. And then on Friday, or on Thursday then, I think, Marcelo, you're joining us, aren't you, for the watch-along against Wolfsburger, where I will be eating cheeseburgers throughout the game because we should be beating them. And then on Friday, I'll be on Premier Hotspurs TV, which is run by Simon. Basically, again, coming on talking about the board and stuff like that. But look, we're going to move on to my next.
You forgot one thing. Tomorrow you'll be on my channel with hopefully Marcelo as well, if he can be.
Yeah, what time is that, Charlie? Give it a plug.
So it's at 4 p.m. UK time. I'm not sure what time it is for Marcelo, but 4 p.m. UK time, and we're just going to be pretty much similar to this stream. We're just going to be ranting, raving about how this board are just a big problem here, and we're going to just be going through everything. We're just going to be discussing what the problem is with Tottenham, from players to board to manager to everything, really. So, if you're watching this, feel free to head over tomorrow. I don't mind whoever comes over. It'd be good to have some more people come on, so feel free.
Yeah. 100%. I actually really look forward to it, Charlie. I love going on your channel again. Another channel where we can sit there and speak our mind. It's absolutely brilliant. And everyone, by the way, get over and check out the rant that Charlie done on my channel after City games.
I clipped it.
But before we move on to the next article, I do want to talk about. We love a bit of Arsenal bashing here, so why not take this comment from James Fitzgerald? Thoughts on AFTV? Look, for me, in one respect, two respects, I admire them. They're the first ones to pave the way for actual raw fan content instead of these pundits who sit there and talk shite, right? And then second of all, they were the movement behind getting rid of Wenger, wrongly in my opinion. But what they did show is that fans have a voice. They put pressure on the board, and the board is trying to get investment into the team now. So one thing they have done is given fans a voice, and they've brokered that as well between like YouTubers and Sky Sports. You see a lot more YouTubers getting on Sky Sports now, and that's because of AFTV. So in that respect, I respect them. But I fucking hate Arsenal. I absolutely hate Gunnosaurus. I hate Boba the Clown here on Tiny. I hate every single bit about them. For me, look, I know they're only 2 points behind us, but they're shit. By the end of the season, we are going to finish substantially ahead of them, in my opinion. But look, there's your Arsenal bashing. So now, look, the next article I want to talk about was put out by The Athletic and David Ornstein, which, may I add, I've got many, many things wrong when it comes
to Tottenham. They said Dybala to Tottenham was done. That's all I'm going to say. They said Dybala to Tottenham was done.
How is he tier 1? How is he tier 1?
Yeah, he's a bloody Arsenal fan, you know what I mean? The bias towards Arsenal was unbelievable with him.
Well, genuinely. I can tell you now, they're not tier 1 in my book. But look, basically the article, the headline was, Tottenham are admirers of Nagelsmann. Right, now when I clicked into the article, there was nothing saying that, Jose is gone, Nagelsmann is coming in, or Tottenham are actively pursuing Nagelsmann. So for me, I actually think they're using Jose's situation to fill in some headlines because they needed some headlines Monday morning.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not being smart. What club in the world isn't interested in Nagelsmann? Let's be real about this.
Great manager.
Tottenham,
Great manager.
Like, you know, they could have put out an article this morning saying Tottenham are interested in Klopp. There's still no run into the article because Jose is still here, and Jose is here till the summer. I hate to say it to people, but it's facts. Jose is here till the summer. There's no, like, literally.
Who are you going to get in now? Who are you going to get in mid-season?
Yeah, Athletic and Ornstein, correct me if I'm wrong. I actually think he's an Arsenal fan.
He is.
So for me, all they're doing is exploiting Jose's situation because you can guarantee if we sack Jose, he's going to Arsenal, and I can tell you that now. What do you think on the article, Marcelo?
I think it's a lot of crap. You know what I mean? It's the same old thing. Oh, Nagelsmann. One, like, why would he leave to come to Spurs? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he got like a board that backs him. In Leipzig, he got a board that, you know, has a plan, has a future. Meanwhile, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, the only reason I would see that why he would leave, right, to come to the Premier League is because if you really think about it, the Bundesliga is a joke. It really is a joke.
Selling their best players.
You know what I mean? They sell, all they do is just sell their best players to Bayern Munich, and you know what I mean? Like, they're basically the whole entire Bundesliga is basically an academy for Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
So, like, for me, that league is a joke. It really is. So I guess if you're a manager, unless you're a Bayern Munich manager, you're really kind of looking at it and it's like, I don't really like have any prospects of achieving anything here because, you know, we can't achieve anything. So in my opinion, I could see why he would leave and go to the Premier League. But like, why? Like, out of all the clubs that he can choose, you know what I mean? Why would he ever come to us? You know what I mean?
100%. And before we move on to Charlie, here's a question for you, Marcelo, from Lappers82. May, who I also add, linked me to the article about the debt. So big yourself up, man. Thank you very much. Marcelo, do you think the stadium move come at the wrong time with the team we had during the season? Spurs were unbeaten at the Lane.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, you can ask Charlie this. We and I talked about this. That was a time when we should have invested in the squad. That was a time, instead of going for the stadium, we should have invested in the squad and actually gone and won trophies. I'm telling you, we should be where Liverpool are right now. That's well, not right now, but like where they were. You know what I mean? Last season, we honestly should have been there. Like I told Liverpool fans this. There isn't a bigger difference between Pochettino and Klopp. There really isn't. Pochettino is just as good as a manager as Klopp is. If Pochettino got the same backing, the same fairness that Klopp got from the board, he would have been a Champions League winner. He would have been a Premier League winner. I'm telling you, he would have been. And
100%.
like, but the thing is, right? It's just that with Liverpool, they actually had ambition to win trophies. We had ambition to make more profits. That's what it was with ENIC. They will always choose a way to make more profit than winning a trophy. If they can find a way, like right now, right? If somehow next summer, right, Jose gets 2 good center backs, and then he makes an amazing team, right? And maybe like, you know, I mean, we go on a great run, we challenge for the title, but we don't win it, right? And Jose goes like, all right, I just need 2 more players, and I can win the title next season, right? But then Enix sees an opportunity to build like, you know what I mean, 10 million, like 10,000 more for the stands. They would choose that 10,000 over, you know, the players. Because that 10,000 will build them more revenue. That's how this club is run. That's how this board is run.
They won't guarantee.
Now, before we move on to Charlie, I have a few super chats here I need to take. Fiona Harris for €2. Well done, Dave. Keep up the good work. Proud of you. Thanks very much, Fiona. By the way, that's my sister. Thank you very much. We have a super chat from Dave Power of €2.65. Great content. Thank you very much, Dave. Again, a friend of mine. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much. And then we also have one here from Will Stewart, $4.99. Do you really want to win the Energy Drink Cup? Is that what we have fallen to? Champions League and the league. That's it for my standards. Will Stewart, what I say to you is when the League Cup trophy is there and you're in the final, of course you want to lift it. For me, honestly, I've been that starved of trophies. I would probably cry when we lift that. And I know I'm going to be clipped. I know people are going to make fun of me. But this is what this club does to me. Right, just seeing Harry Kane lift the trophy will be nice. Like just seeing Harry Kane lift the trophy will be all my wet dreams come at once. Honestly, Everyone knows I adore Harry Kane down to his hair, down to the way he wears the jersey. So it'll be all my dreams come at once to see Harry Kane lift the trophy. Not only that,
Ronaldo.
Jose Mourinho and Son getting a lift on it as well, because it'll shut all the Mourinho haters up. And winning that trophy would give us good confidence as well going into the end of the season. But look,
it could be the
I will
boost
say,
that this club needs. It could be the boost that this club needs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, look, listen. I don't care what trophy it is. You know what I mean? If it's a valuable trophy, if it's considered a major trophy, and we're in the final, yes, I want to win it. You know what I mean? Who wouldn't? So
we need to break that duck. We have to break that trophy.
Yeah.
So it's as simple as that. And we're in a final.
I don't know if I'm gonna cry like you did, but I will say this: if we do win Europa, I will cry. If we do win Europa League, I will cry.
Europa League's the one for me.
Stop! You know I won't be able to stand up because if we win the Europa, I'll be on such a hard on. It's not even funny, lads. But honestly, thanks very much everyone for the super chat so far. You honestly don't know what it means to me. You know, it just helps me grow. And as well, you know, everyone knows. Like, I understand not everybody has money to be putting in super chats. I get it. Times are hard. And I do genuinely try to get everyone's comments on the stream. But there's a lot of comments to get through right now. So please don't be upset if I don't get your comment up on the screen. I genuinely, and everybody knows, I genuinely try and do put everyone's comment up. But Charlie, back to you on the Athletic article about Nagelsmann, the absolute smoke screen, you know, filling headlines. It's all it is. What do you make on it?
Well, look, Nagelsmann is a very good manager. I really like the look of him and what he's doing at Leipzig. I've seen, obviously, them play against us. I saw them play against United in the second leg. They're a good team, Leipzig, and their style of football is very good to watch. And he's doing well for them, second in the Bundesliga. So I really do like Nagelsmann. And if whatever case, if Mourinho was to go, Nagelsmann would probably be one of my first choices. And look, with the article itself, we can admire Nagelsmann. I'm sure a lot of clubs admire Nagelsmann, not just Tottenham. Yeah. But the thing is, it's just, as you said, I think it's just a bit of paper talk or whatever. I think the thing is, the club can sack Jose and get Nagelsmann all they want, but the problem is, the problem will still remain at the top, no matter what manager we have. The problem is the board. They'll still be here no matter what happens. If we've got Mourinho or Nagelsmann, it doesn't matter which one. The board is still the problem. And no matter what manager, people need to understand this, right? Yes, I do like Nagelsmann. I also like Mourinho. There's a lot of managers in the world I like. But the problem is, no matter what manager you have at this club, the problem still lies until they sell up. And yeah, Lily White Lane, we need to give that fund our deal for a new centre back. But look, as I said, I like Nagelsmann, I like Mourinho, I like many managers. But no matter what manager you have at Spurs, unless the board change or sell up, it's the same problem. It's still the rotten core and still all this deadwood that are still here at this club. Like Nagelsmann, I guarantee you, he. If people think that Nagelsmann can get anything out of these defenders, then you're wrong. It's that simple. Even he.
We played attacking football versus Everton. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, do we have amnesia?
People are talking about Bielsa as well. Like, if Bielsa was our manager, we concede about 10 a game. Literally.
Hasenhüttl, like, oh my God.
These people talking about Bielsa, honestly, okay, I get it. You know, he plays nice attacking football. But at the same time, when you don't have the defense already under the greatest defensive manager ever to grace this game, you get Marco, you get Bielsa in, lads. We're going to be slapped every week. Bielsa is a non-runner. It's as simple as that. No manager, every manager is a non-runner right now. You could offer me Klopp tomorrow. I would actually turn Klopp down on the basis that I don't want to ruin a legend, right? I do not want to ruin Jurgen Klopp because the same players are going to let him down. You know, you could bring me in Pep tomorrow. I don't want to ruin Pep's career, so I'd say no to it because the players aren't good enough. It's as simple as that. I just want to take Lily White Lane's comment here with £2.99. Big up Lily White Lane. Really do appreciate it. Everyone loves this guy. You know, he's on Matty's channel. He's on my channel. He's a big fan for
Matty Jr.
Make sure you get over and check out his page. He does great content. And make sure you hit me up, Lily White Lane. I'll definitely get on your channel and do something with you. Give this money to Enoch to invest. 100%, lad. 100%. 100%. You know, that is more investment than what the club has ever shown. Do you know what I mean? And then, but look, lads, I've seen a lot of comments as well. I want to move on to this about your man Konsa from Aston Villa, the centre-back. Also, again, the Athletic linking him with Tottenham. Supposedly he's coming in the summer. For me, he's not the answer. Like, we sit here talking about, like, proper investment, bringing in world-class players. Now, you could bring in Konsa. Okay, he's doing well at Villa. But, like, you know, you also have, for me, Jaffa Tanganga, who's at the same level. You know what I mean? You could easily put Jaffa Tanganga in beside Toby Alderweireld. You don't need to spend to get Konsa to do it. You can just put Jaffa Tanganga in there.
It's another prospect signing that we already don't need. We already have Joe Rodon, and we already have.
The thing is with Konsa, he's a good defender, right? And I actually think he's one of the better out of him and Tyrone Mings. I think he's the better one.
No, he is better than Tyrone.
But I think the thing is, right, Konsa. I think if you're gonna get Konsa, you have to get a world-class centre back to go next to him, because Konsa at the moment he's like a good Premier League centre back. You know what I mean? You have to have someone next to him like a Skriniar or someone like that. So for me, if you get him and a Skriniar in, I think that's a good deal. But just Konsa alone, I don't think it solves many of our problems. Obviously, he'd be an upgrade on a lot of our defenders, but I don't think it solves everything. That's just how I see it anyway.
100%. Yeah. Just a quick question to Simon Cohen. If you could get in the group into the chat and let me know. Did Anthony Costa sing in your man that was in the Bible and Blue on Chris Cowland's show last night? Did his singing make your Valentine's Day? Because you got exactly what you wanted. I was just wondering. I thought it was a good laugh. Just let me know. Look, you know, we've sat here, we talked about Milinkovic. You know, Upamecano has a release clause there. You could go and get that.
He's gone.
Konsa's not the answer.
Yeah, you know, Konsa is not the answer. He could be a good prospect signing, but listen, we need the now, baby. We need the now. And honestly, I heard that news, actually, that Kane did come out and say that he is backing Jose, which is, you know what I mean, big up Kane. And, you know what I mean, I hear all these rumors saying, oh, Kane is going to leave. Oh, my God, Kane is going to leave. Listen, Kane is going nowhere. He is Tottenham Hotspur through and through. I already said it. Kane is our Gerrard. Like,
no one can afford Kane.
Not even that. Like, Kane is our Gerrard. I'm telling you, this guy loves Tottenham Hotspurs. He could have left a long time ago if he wanted to. You know what I mean? He just loves the club this much, and he wants success at the club. So
100%.
He's staying. And you know what? I'm glad that he's backing Jose, because rightfully so. You know what I mean? And I bet he's looking at these players and telling them that, you know, they're shit. You know what I mean? You're not good enough.
100%. Just on this comment to Clockwork Orange, RON 10. Would you let me know what country that's from? I genuinely don't know, and I'm interested to know. I've always had a fascination in countries and their lifestyle and stuff like that. So if you can let me know what country that's from, that'd be absolutely amazing. I also have one more super chat here to get through. Yeah, maybe my missus just reckons it could be Romanian. It very well could be. Will Stewart here with $19.99 US dollars. Big up, honestly, means so much to me, Will. You're missing son. We are at more risk of losing him. He is walking in Park Ji-sung's shadow. Word in Korea is that Madrid is in for him. He has the weight of the entire country on his back. Lots to talk about on this. Will Stewart, what I will say about Son is, do you know what? Do you know what? I was actually speaking about this on Chris Cowland's show yesterday. Now, we're in a great, like, think about this, right? So if you're Kane and Son, lads, right, and your whole career, like, you work so hard to be the very best, which they're getting themselves to, being the very best, right? Now, they worked all their career for that. Now, the very best with drive like that, the reason why they work so hard to be the very best is because they want to win trophies, right? Let's be honest about it. So, like, if you're Harry Kane, and especially if you're Heung-min Son, with your contract coming up, do you know what I mean? Like, you're taking into consideration, do I sign this, right? Or do I leave to go and win trophies? Because my career, like, I'm getting older. I'm not getting any younger. Now, for me, it's easy for me to say I would stay at Tottenham, but purely because I love the club.
Yeah, you're
if I was at the club, like, I'm Spurs through and through. Now, if I was at the club and, you know, say, you know, Real Madrid came calling, genuinely, me, I wouldn't leave because I wouldn't have the same passion paying for that club. That's just me. But at the end of the day, you know, we are in a dangerous position. I think the only way Kane and Son stays is if Daniel Levy, Jose Mourinho sit down with Kane and Son and say, look, this is our plans in the summer. This is our transfer plans. We're building the squad around you. We're really, really going for the Premier League next season. For me, that's the only way they stay. Honestly, that's my opinion. I don't know what you make on that. If you want to address the comment.
What I will say is that it's the fact is, right, players being unsettled and players actually leaving are two completely different things. Like, let's be honest. Yes, at the moment, Kane and Son, at the moment, they are happy at the club at the moment, right? But the thing is, it is at risk with the form we're in. But the thing is, they're two different things, right? If a player wants to go, right? But the other question is, will they go? They're two completely different things. People need to understand that if it comes to a point in the summer where Kane does want to go, right? Who in the world is going to be able to afford him? Let's be completely honest. No club will pay what we want for him. And rightly so, because
on Harry Kane, I actually
afford him. No club can afford him.
Yeah, but his contract, the contract.
No, his
on Harry
contract.
Kane, my opinion on Harry Kane, lads. My opinion on Harry Kane, lads, is that my opinion on Harry Kane, lads, is that basically, for me, with his injuries, right, he's only probably a couple more years left at the very top before his two ankle injuries really do start taking a toll on him. So for me, my opinion is that if he doesn't leave this summer, he'll never leave Tottenham. I think this summer is the time for clubs to gamble on him. Well, not
Even
gamble on him, but come in for him. After that, I think he's going to be a Tottenham player.
Hopefully he's a Tottenham player. Look, listen, listen. If Sonny leaves, I'm crying. If Sonny leaves,
Son's going to sign a new contract. That's done. That's done, Marcelo. It's done. Trust me, that's done. We'll find out.
I hope so.
I think now, because it hasn't been announced recently, I think they're going to do it at the end of the season. I'm telling you.
Honestly, I cannot stand it. Seeing Sonny leave to Real Madrid.
Son will sign that contract. Don't worry.
First Gareth Bale, you know what I mean? Modric, Gareth Bale, and then now, I don't know if my heart could take it.
This is the thing. When we genuinely have world-class players, when are we just going to say no to like Real Madrid and Barcelona? Do you know what I mean? And start building around these players. Bring the players into a boardroom and say, sit down, this is our plan. We're going to build around you. We're going to push on. We've had ample opportunity to do it before. Failed. We've went and got the stadium. We've had ample opportunity to buy top world-class players to come in. Failed. But this week, I just want to answer the Last Minute Winner podcast, €2 super chat. Big up, Rob, by the way. Make sure you get over and you subscribe to the Last Minute Winner podcast. He had some big guests on there. He has some big guests lined up. And also, I got the privilege of being on there laughing at Liverpool losing to Brighton. It made my day because everyone knows I hate Liverpool. But on his question, prediction for tomorrow's Champions League, gents. I actually don't know because I just don't like Liverpool. But who are they playing tomorrow?
They're playing Leipzig.
Leipzig. I think Leipzig.
You know what? In a way, my opinion is I hope Liverpool absolutely dominate Leipzig because then it'll shut up these naiglesmann people.
Ooh.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think Leipzig is going to win.
I think Leipzig. It's the first leg. I think Liverpool might win over 2 legs, but I think for this leg, I think Leipzig might win. I think
Liverpool gets knocked out. I think Liverpool's going to get knocked out by Leipzig.
I wouldn't be surprised. I think Leipzig will do them 2-1 in the first leg.
I'm going 4-1 Leipzig. 4-1.
4-1.
Yeah, it's gonna be a massacre.
I think it'll be 2-1. 2-1.
Hey, listen, Liverpool's defense has been looking shaky, man. And I don't rate that. I don't rate that center back of theirs. The one that came from Schalke. I've been watching him.
Kabak.
I
said Tottenham fans were asking for when Tottenham fans were saying, "Oh, why didn't we get Kabak?" Right? Kabak played for Schalke, who are bottom of the Bundesliga, who are conceding goal after goal.
And he was part of the problem. He was also part of the defensive issues. That's the thing. Like, I understand, like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're not part of the issue, but he was legitimately part of their defensive issue.
Yeah, he was.
So, in my opinion, he's not the answer. And I'm telling Rob right now, I know my center backs. Kabak is not it. Kabak will not get you anywhere near that level. He is just another body. He is a Ben Davies. No, I'm serious.
It's just another Sanchez.
You're gonna get spanked.
After what he did against Leicester,
I said, remember when remember when it was a City game? You said, David, I remember this. You said you thought Liverpool were gonna win, right? I said City was gonna.
Yeah, I was expecting a reaction.
I said City are gonna spank these guys. I said it, and Rob was like, "Oh, Marcelo, you're a clown. You're a clown. You took 4-1 at home, bro. You took 4-1. How dare you call me a clown?" You legitimately are the clowns of the Premier League right now. You're defending champions, and you're eating 4-1s, 3-1s like it's fucking breakfast for dinner. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to hear it, bro. Like,
Now, I fully agree with you, Marcelo, and keep up that Liverpool hate. And it's the energy I want to every other club, but that's not Tottenham. I love it.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Now,
Listen. I hope honestly. People call me Premier League like, but I hope all these Premier League clubs get knocked out. I don't want to see them have success.
Yeah, no, I
Sure
agree.
don't.
I've always said that. Who in the Champions League? Yeah, I definitely don't want an English team to win
Yeah,
it. Who would?
maybe
Exactly.
maybe if it was like a Wolves, because I like an underdog story, but like nah, bro.
Yeah.
Like Chelsea, I hope it
Exactly.
gets spanked.
Yeah, exactly.
Marcelo. Sorry, go ahead, Charlie.
No, I was just saying, like, in terms of why would you, unless it's Tottenham, why would anyone want another English team? Why would you want another English team to win the Champions League? You know what I mean? Why? Like, definitely not. Unless it's Tottenham, I couldn't. I want all the other English teams to just get knocked out. It's that simple.
100%, 100%. Now, before I move on to the next point, yeah, if there's any look, the super chat, the chat's flying off the handle. I am trying my best to get them up. But if you have any comments that you genuinely want us to answer, or anything like that, make sure you get your super chats in, because it will guarantee to be definitely read out. Now, I am trying my best to get through the chat, but it's flying here. Now, Marcelo, weeks ago on Matty Hayes' live, I think it was that Matty Hayes live stream or something me and you done. I literally said, when it comes to defenders, we have to trust you, because you haven't been wrong on defenders at all so far, right? So we have a question here from Faro27. What is Marcelo's opinion on Mehmet Demiral from Juventus? And by the way, big up the Harris Army, and big up David Harris, because that was an absolute great pronunciation for someone that's dyslexic. So Marcelo, take over.
Well, the thing is, I see is he doesn't play enough of the Serie A game to really say,
he had an injury. He had an
injury crisis, so it's hard to say what he's all about. What I saw in the Coppa Italia versus Inter was, a decent performance. I would say it was a good performance, but honestly, like, I can't really take into much of that, because it is the Coppa Italia, where, you know what I mean, like, other clubs are gonna play, some of their B teams, some of their substitutes, so you don't know, like, and what I've seen is, even though he has been fit, Bonucci and De Ligt has been starting over him. So it goes to show that maybe he's not up to par to the higher standards. And as far as I'm concerned, other clubs who, especially in Italy, who are having, because apparently Juventus is looking to sell him, right? And what I've seen is, I haven't seen much rumors about other clubs in Italy wanting him, or particularly, like, really big interest in him. Now, with Milinkovic, you look at him, he plays in, week out, and he looks fantastic. And other clubs are dying to get him. You look at Juventus, you look at, Inter, you look at other clubs, they're dying to get him. So I don't know. Like, for me, it's tough to say, because he's been injury, and that's the last thing I want, is an injury-prone player. So for me, I gotta say it's a pass, but I wouldn't rule him out yet. But I gotta see more from him. I gotta see more.
100%. So look, the way we're going to work this last bit of live stream is, I actually have something I do want to talk about as well. But on board questions, get your board questions in for Charlie. Charlie will answer them. I keep getting your transfer questions in for Marcelo, because I am now making Marcelo our house resident on everything transfer, especially when it comes to defenders. And I'm making Charlie, because I know Charlie really, really despises this board, so I'm making Charlie the board resident on this channel. So any questions come in, get them in for Charlie as well, not just Marcelo. So we have 92 Flamethrower here. At Marcelo, what are your thoughts on Anthony from Ajax?
Oh, Anthony. Yeah. He came from Sao Paulo, which is actually, he's Brazilian. I saw him in Sao Paulo, actually. He played against my local team in the Paulista final. He's a good player, but look, as far as I'm concerned, the difference is, with the Brazilian league, and I always say about Brazilian players coming to the Premier League, it's very tough for them, because it's two complete different leagues. Brazil league and Dutch, Spanish. There isn't a coincidence that a lot of Brazilian players go to, La Liga, like they like playing more open, expansive football. And Anthony could, he's a good player, but I don't think he's at the Premier League level yet. I don't think he could handle the physicality or the pace that the Premier League does. You know what I mean? Like a team like a Burnley that sits back and, just block. You're looking at Stevie B. I think you'll have the same issues as Stevie B. He'll show a lot of energy and heart, but no, I don't think he's not the answer. He's not what we need.
Yeah, 100%. We only want the very best coming now. This is Alex Davies. He's actually been on the channel before. That's the Alex that we had on before. Alex, all I can say is I'm keeping very well. I sent you a message on Facebook to say thanks very much for working your magic and getting you on the football terrace. A thoroughly great debate. Even you found yourself agreeing with me. I found myself agreeing with you, which is very strange. But you know what? At the end of the day, Alex, all we want is what's best for Tottenham. So big yourself up, and thanks very much for your help and your support as well. And thanks very much to the Harris Army as well. Now, lads, one thing I want to touch on here is I hear this being banded around to suit people Jose out agenda. Oh, what about training? Now, I heard someone say basically that with the mistakes that Aurier makes, right? Why isn't Jose Mourinho out on the training pitch with him out 8 hours a day drilling him? Now, my question is he's actually made more mistakes under Pochettino than what he has Mourinho. Now, where was that question and that energy underneath the guy that you all love and still want at this club? Let's face it. Where was that same energy? And why weren't you asking that when Poch was in charge? Why weren't you saying this guy's giving away a penalty against Juventus, penalty here, penalty there? In so many big games, he's made mistakes. Why is Pochettino not out there coaching them and drilling them for 8 hours? It's absolute nonsense. It's a non-runner. All you're trying to do is just find things to suit your agenda. And the reason why you keep bringing up different things, I'm sorry, Alex, this isn't directed at you. I'll take the comment off the screen. This is directed at Jose out. Now, the only reason why you keep finding these things and the reason why you're bringing up the training now is because single-handedly, myself, Marcelo, Charlie, Matty Hayes and the Harris Army, we have completely dismantled all these Jose out arguments, completely dismantled them. Yeah. Completely. We'll go with Charlie first. Charlie, what do you think on this whole Jose needs to do coaching? He's not coaching. Like, you know, the chap brought in Ledley King to try and help out with defence. And these guys are trying to tell me we're not coaching players on the training pitch.
I don't know, because like we don't really know what's going on in training. We never see it. It's all behind the scenes and stuff. But the thing is, what I will say to what people said about Aurier, right? Aurier, Jose has improved Aurier. He actually has improved Aurier a lot since he's come in. A lot, yeah. And I didn't think that was possible. Yes, there's still the odd mistake in there, but it's far less mistakes than what it was before. Now, as I said, I don't know what's going on in training, so I can't really answer that. I can't really say if what he should be doing or what he shouldn't be doing. But at the end of the day, as I keep saying to everyone, there's no manager in world football that can get anything out of these defenders. It's as simple as that. And I'm not talking about Aurier here. I'm talking about the likes of Dyer, Sanchez, Davies. These guys aren't good enough. It's that simple. No matter what manager you are, right? No manager can get anything out of these players. It's that simple. Especially, and Jose is probably the most, out of all managers, he's probably the most likely to get anything out of them. But even he can't get anything out of them. And that just says everything you need to know. Because what the thing is, the one criticism I will have of Mourinho is this obsession with Eric Dyer. Right now, in recent games, that has been sort of rescinded a bit because he has been dropped a couple of times. But the problem he's got is no matter who he puts in there, mistakes are going to happen. He's chopped and changed it literally every game, and he can't. Nothing's working. Nothing is working for him, and I feel sorry because look, if let's just say hypothetically that if Mourinho had two centre-backs that he wanted, let's say Skriniar and Milenkovic, if he had those two in his team and things were still going wrong, then I think you have to look at Jose. But the problem is, right, is he doesn't have any defender that he wants. Do you really think that if when he came in, right, and he had no team and he just had to build a team, do you think he'd want any of these players? No manager would. No manager would want any of these players, these defenders, because no one can get anything out of them. And people saying like other managers and stuff. As I said, if a new manager came in, you'd get a bounce, right? And then it will come to a point where we'll realise that these defenders can't defend. In the comment here, I actually want to answer this here as well.
Yeah.
What do you think of Steve Hitchen? Hitchen is part of the problem. He is part of the problem because he's part of the board. He's part of the board. So when I say everything I say about the board, Hitchen is included in that because this guy goes to Milan to bottle it. He absolutely bottled it for Skriniar. Bottled it. How can you go all the way to Milan, right, without knowing that you're going to get a deal done? Come on, it's an absolute joke. And this guy has been an absolute disgrace, right? He says that he hates the January transfer window. Why? Why do you hate it? You know what I mean? If you should love it if you want to be ambitious. You look at Paul Mitchell.
Doesn't like doing his job.
Yeah, Paul Mitchell was the perfect guy for us. Paul Mitchell, he found all these players like Alderweireld, Who else? There was a couple others as well. Dele Alli was another one. He's found all these players, and he's doing it at Leipzig as well. He's been at Leipzig. I believe he's at Monaco now.
I mean,
Paul Mitchell was the guy.
apparently Stevie B. No, and I don't mean like I'm sorry to interrupt you, but apparently Stevie B was a must-buy, transfer according to Steve Hitchen. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean. Like, how much did Chelsea get Ziyech for? 35 million.
I think it was 35 million. Yeah. Literally.
Okay, so 10 extra million, we could have had a player like Ziyech instead of Stevie B.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the problem is, as I said, Hitchen is part. As I said, he's part of this board, right? And the recruitment's been terrible ever since he's taken the job, barring a few players, right? You look at the players. You look at who is there? There's just Nkudu and Sissoko. All these players that have been brought in by him, Sanchez, genuinely, he does not have a clue. And you need to look at someone like Leicester, who Leicester don't spend a lot of money, but they always get it right. They literally get everything right, Leicester. And that's because their scouts are good. Hitchen is nowhere near good enough. He goes, as I keep saying.
Get Campos.
Yeah, get Luis Campos. He's good relationship with Jose. He's free. He's left Lille. Go and get him. Yeah. Why not go and get him? It's that simple.
100%. Now, what I will say, lads, I have 5 minutes left. So at this stage, I already picked out the questions that I want answered. If you have any questions you definitely want answered, it's going to have to be a super chat because I have to fly off going over to Matty Hayes' podcast. This guy got you off. Playman. No, you haven't dismantled anything. Conte improved his defense with drill after drill. And one can't see this. Is this the case with Jose?
Go look.
Just for 1 second. Just let me take this. This is also the same guy, the first time I was on Chris Cowland's channel, who put in 3 big long essays on why Ben Davies was good enough. So honestly, until you can come back and tell me Ben Davies is not good enough for Tottenham, I'm not answering your comment. So Marcelo?
Yeah. No, I was gonna say also go look at the guys he had at defense and go look at ours. Before you say an idiotic comment like that. Like, seriously. You know what I mean? The guy had like an amazing back line. He just didn't know what system to play them. You know what I mean? He figured out that, a back three and, having the 2 wing backs was the way to go. Once he figured that out, he won the league. He just didn't know what system to play. There's a difference between not knowing what system to play to not knowing, like if these players are any good. You know what I mean? Jose has literally tried every system with these players and it has not worked out.
Yeah, 100%. Now, the questions that I picked out, so Marcelo, people are asking about Rodrigo from Real Madrid, a player I really like. He's burst onto the scene. Vinicius Jr. was on the scene before, and he's kind of overtook him now in terms of development. Would you take him at Tottenham?
Oh, Rodrigo? Oh, 110%. I mean, 100%. I would take Rodrigo. That kid is a baller, man.
Wait, which Rodrigo? The one at Leeds or the one at Madrid?
No. I think you're thinking about Rafinha.
Oh, they've got another Rodrigo, Leeds. Valencia.
I think he's talking about the Brazilian Rodrigo. But the Brazilian Rodrigo, the one in Madrid, that kid is a baller, man. You know what I mean? He is a baller, and he's a killer. He has killer instincts as well. You know what I mean? He's not going to miss those sitters. So I would 100% take Rodrigo, but you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I don't think he's going to come. Why would he? I would take a loan for him, though.
The thing is, Rodrigo starts regularly for them, I think.
Yeah. Why would you come?
Now, I have 2 more questions coming your way as well. I just want to take this as well. Same guy that reckons Ben Davies is top-class left-back. Brendan Rodgers would be challenging for the title with this squad 100%. Now, what I'll say to you is the only titles that Brendan Rodgers has ever won has been in a one-horse league where it was Celtic. Okay? The only titles he's ever won. The thing is with Brendan Rodgers, look back at the team that he had at Liverpool that was supposedly go on to win the title. They gassed out. And fell over the last stretch, right? The Leicester team, they were flying last season. What happened? They gassed out again. Do you know what I mean? Just about got top 4. And the same thing's going to happen this season.
Yeah,
I'm not sitting here and telling me, look, this guy would play better football than Jose. But has he won more than Jose? Like, these Jose out people sit here and talk about trophies. and yet they want to sack a serial winner. You guys don't want trophies.
Listen. They say the stupidest things. They say, "Oh, Nagelsmann could get this team, challenge for title."
No manager
Nagelsmann can't even challenge for fucking the Bundesliga with that team that he has. You know what I mean? Like, can't even challenge. Like, get off it, man. You know what I mean? Like, wake up, go to reality. You know what I mean? I saw a tweet. You know what I mean? Like, I saw this great tweet. This guy was like, I had a dream where Nagelsmann came in our club and we're playing free flowing football. And I'm like, oh yeah. And then you woke up and then you realize that we have a back four of Davies, Dyer, and Sanchez.
Darren Sanchez is just criminal as a center.
Yeah, like then you wake up and you realize we don't even have a back four. You know what I mean? It's like I think Expression said it best. It's Katie Hopkins FC, bro. Nothing like nothing at the back. He said it the best, bro. We 100%. Have nothing at the back.
No, I just want to take a few comments here, and then I'm going to end on one question. So I'm going to give you the question now, and then I'll fly through the comments. So you think about the question once I've asked you. Is someone put in basically saying, what centre back would you bring in that you think can improve this defence? But I'm also going to add something to it. What right back would you bring in as well? So just think about that while I fly through some of these comments. So we have the Clockwork Orange, the Harris Army tweet this. Steve Hitchin out, Luis Campos in. So the Harris Army, you know what to do. You've heard it here first from the Clockwork Orange. With 10 Romanian, I'm not sure whether it's pounds, dollars, but 10 Romanian currency, absolutely big up. And again, big up everybody for the super chats today. You don't know how much it really helps me try and bring you better content. You know what I mean? Gives me more time in the day to sit here, try and get guests on to discuss different things. Because I've no doubt, as entertaining as I am, you don't want to just be listening to me. You also want to listen to the likes of Charlie, Marcelo, Matt Hayes, you know what I mean? So honestly, it all helps. So thank you very, very much. We have Mike Dean here. I doubt it's the referee, although we do know Mike Dean loves celebrating a Spurs goal. David is the tie of Spurs fan base. Do you know what? In a way, I accept that comment because I do big up the team. I do big up the team so much before every game. But that's just genuinely because I believe we can win every game. Like, I'm not stupid enough. Like, I'm definitely not like tying away because I'm not stupid enough to think that form doesn't count. But one thing I'll be honest with you is I am never going to sit there and say Tottenham are going to lose. You're never get that.
You're never going to blame the rain as to why we lost. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit hard.
Yeah, 100%. And we have Dottie back here as well. Just give me 1 second. Ben Davies is a loyal player who has always come into a decent job. You clickbait idiots. You morons, I presume is what he's trying to say, are only looking to make money from YouTube. Calling me an idiot. Look, Dottie, what I will say is Ben Davies has been loyal, but he's been loyal because he's on about 60, 70 grand a week. So it's very easy to be loyal when you're on that sort of money. He's come in to do a decent job. You clickbait idiots. What I'm going to say to you is you call me clickbait, but I'm not the only one that can see we get spun week in, week out every time Ben Davies plays. For me, what I'd say to you is actually go back and watch the games and watch how many times they go down his side and cut in off his side. So it's not really clickbait. It's the truth. Dottie, I'm afraid to tell you, but it's the truth. You need to wake up to the truth. You morons are only looking to make money from YouTube. What I'm going to say to you is I spent months here without any money. Without super chats or anything like that. Marcelo, Charlie as well.
I don't even have
we all sit here and do this.
I don't even make money from any of this.
No,
I just do it because I like it.
I don't make anything. You know what I mean? All these super chats all there. As much as they help, what they're really doing is paying for the streaming. Is helping pay for the likes of the streaming content, everything else like that to get these contents out. It's you know what I mean. So I don't understand. I'm not being funny. Until you set up your own channel, Dottie, you're never going to understand it. Definitely not making any money from YouTube. So you can be quiet like that. The only reason why you're playing is because Ben Davies isn't good enough. And sorry, Marcelo, go on.
Also, to the American twat comment, you are an idiot because I'm Brazilian, so you should have known that. I don't know if any American you've ever met that's called Marcelo, you know what I mean? I don't know, you know what I mean? I think it's been pretty clear that I'm Brazilian, but good one.
Yeah, 100%. Look, I'll be honest with you, people. Most people would have shied away from that comment, but I'm not. I'm never going to shy away from comments like that because everything he says there is completely false. But look, lads, we're going to get on to the. Look, this guy, he he's just a fraud. You know what I mean? He thinks he knows better than everyone else. What I say to you, Dottie, is you go and apply for the Tottenham job when it comes up. You know what I mean? You go and do it because you think you know best. At the end of the day, all we're trying to do is do what's best for a club. If you're sitting there and telling me these players are good enough, honestly, I don't see it. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. Don't get me wrong. You're entitled to your opinion. But one thing I can tell you is you're definitely wrong. Anyway, but we're going to move on. So, Marcelo, what centre-back and what right-back would you bring in?
So I can't just say specifically one. I have to put 3 center-backs that I could see that could fit the role. I think Koundé. I think Lily White brought him up
good
for
Sevilla.
He's fantastic.
Yeah.
Sevilla.
Like
if you look at Sevilla, they're also a good team that likes to keep a clean sheet. If you actually look at their track
record, they won
record,
Europa League last season.
Yeah, they keep a lot of clean sheets too. And Koundé is a guy that loves clean sheets, so I would love him. I think, how do you say it? Konate from Leipzig, or
Konate.
Yeah. He's a very good center back. And then Milinkovic, obviously. You know what I mean? Milinkovic is my guy. If I had to choose 2, right, for be our new center back pairing, honestly, I would choose Koundé and Milinkovic. That would honestly be.
Koundé, I forgot about him. He's good.
I think that would be a perfect pairing. You know what I mean? Football wise. But and as far as right back, for me, it's between 3. It's between Emerson from Betis, Aarons from Norwich, or Lamptey. For me, it was one of those 3. Those 3 guys, catch my eye. They're 3 prospects that are ready for first team, and you know what I mean. They're ready to fly. So those would be my 3.
100%. And lads, what I will say to you is everyone else but Dottie is on board on the Harris Army, so I wouldn't worry about his comments. People can see exactly what he's trying to do. But great players there, Marcelo. Great players. I'd be happy with any single one of them. Honestly, I really would be. Charlie, what's yours?
So yeah, look, pretty much very similar to Marcelo. In terms of you looking at centre backs, I think Milan Skriniar definitely up there for me. Top quality centre back. You look at as well Milinkovic, who I've actually, since Marcelo told me about, I've watched a lot of him, and I really like what I've seen. I've been really impressed with him, especially because he's played in a struggling Fiorentina side down the bottom in Italy. So look, I've been impressed with Milinkovic. 22 million release clause. Go and get him. And then you look at other centre backs. Konate. It was reported by Christian Falk that Tottenham do hold interest in him. So look, Konate. He's a good centre-back, good young promising centre-back that I've seen a bit of. You look at as well, Koundé was one that I forgot about completely, but I actually watched him in Europa League last year when he played. He played against Man U. He played against Wolves. And I was quite impressed with him, Koundé. So he's another one that I'll definitely take. So they're my ones. You got Skriniar, Milinkovic, Koundé, Konate, all top centre-backs there. You look at right back. I'm sure you guys know I'm a massive fan of Lamptey of Brighton. I've been telling you about him for a while now. And now Marcelo's definitely put him in his list now. So look, Lamptey's always up there for me. Top quality right back for Brighton. I've been very impressed with him this season.
Very good going forward as well.
Yeah, very good going forward. Scored against us as well. Even though
100%.
that goal shouldn't have stood, but he scored against us. You look at Max Aarons as well. I saw him play against us. I was quite impressed with him getting up and down the flank. Very quick fullback he is actually, Aarons. So he's definitely one up there. They're the 2 for me. 2 young, quality English right backs. You have to look as well. Potentially, if you're looking at getting 2 right backs, if maybe Aurier goes and Doherty goes, you're looking at maybe as like a backup. You look at someone like Hysaj of Napoli. I'm not sure. I don't think he's good enough to be starting for us. But I think if you're looking for another backup right back, maybe he's your guy because he's out of contract in the summer. So yeah, look, my main ones: Skriniar, Milinkovic, Konate, Lamptey, Aarons. They're definitely players that we should be in for. 100%.
Yeah.
And as far as that comment, 100%. I can say this. Say this, David. I can say this. Not you, David.
Well, what I say to you, Marcelo, I don't. Just before you address it, I don't think he's trying to come across in a bad way. I think he doesn't know your background. So if you want to explain it to him.
But David Fearon, the reason why I speak English here is because, there are 2 other people speaking English, so there wouldn't be much sense if I came in here and started speaking
Portuguese.
Yeah. So, David, I could, David Fearon, I can say, você é muito burro e idiota e outra vez você para de falar mal de outras pessoas quando vino aqui.
But you were born in Brazil, weren't you?
So basically what I said, you know what I mean? Quit being an idiot and stop, you know, assuming everyone's background just because of the language they speak. Just because I can speak 2 languages doesn't mean I wasn't born in Brazil. You know what I mean? I went to school, buddy. You know what I mean? I'm sorry that I'm educated. I don't know.
Look, but before we sign off, lads, I just have 2 more super chats here, and then we may sign off because I have to go over to Matty Hayes' podcast now. I'm in a bit of a rush. So Vam shit har ready shitty.
He's definitely trying to bait you, 100%.
Look, I hope I got the pronunciation right. I hope so. I really don't mean any disrespect if I didn't, but if not, maybe you could get in contact with me and let me know how to pronounce it.
I don't know.
For the next
is that trying to bait David? That might be, you know, one of them names that's trying to bait you. But if not, I'm so sorry, genuine. If not, I'm so sorry. But I know it just sounded like.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. If it is anyway, I think they're funny anyway. So if anyone wants to do
it's
do that to me, I think they're funny.
Yeah, no, it's an idiotic comment. I mean, like, David, you know,
if it's not, I'm sorry. I do apologize if it's not.
No, you don't have to be sorry about anything. It's just idiots on the internet, man. But like, you know, I mean, you don't come in here speaking Gaelic or anything like that. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any sense, you know?
Yeah. But anyway, I'm just going to say ready. Anyway, with a £5 super chat. What do you guys? What do you say, guys? Do we have to fight for top 4 or win Europa League, lads? I'll go around these individually. If you could just give a quick answer, because I do have to fly off. Start with you, Marcelo.
When the Europa League? I rather us give up on top 4 and go for the Europa League. Honestly, it's a trophy. It's a trophy I want to win. And screw it, you know what I mean? I'd rather put all of our efforts to winning a trophy than, you know what I mean? We've been like we've gone top 4 before, you know what I mean? I know how it feels like to get top 4. I want to win a big trophy. I'm sick of it.
Yeah, Charlie.
Yeah, look, I think the more each week now we're just dropping further and further down the table, and I think it's just going to get to a point where we may have to just put everything in Europa League basket. So for me, it's Europa League as well. Trophy, we need that trophy under our belt. We need to break that duck, and it gets us in the Champions League. So yeah, it's Europa League for me.
Look, for me, I take both. I'm greedy. I love trophies. Why can't we? Keep Fiona Harris with another €2 super chat. Keep up the good work. Let the haters keep watching. Yeah, thank you very much. Look. You know what I mean? The way I see it, look, one thing you're never going to do on the internet is absolutely break me, because I have one of the most strongest, personalities ever. What you say is not going to affect me. It's only what people say that I genuinely care about. If there's anything bad affects me. No one that I don't know. Look, I just before we go, Dottie has wrote back in saying, you misinterpreted me, Mr. Harris, this, that, and the other. No, I didn't misinterpret you. At the end of the day, the very first show I done with Chris Cowling, you've came for me and you've been on my tail ever since. So if you don't like my reaction, then don't chase someone around like that. It's as simple as that. I can't do any more for you. But what I'm going to say is big up the Harris Army. Thanks very much for tuning in. Couldn't do these shows without people watching and interacting in the comments. I do my best to get everybody's comments up. Big up at all the super chatters as well. I really, really do appreciate it. It means so much to me. It helps me with the streaming platforms and, you know, things you have to pay for to be able to make the thumbnails and everything else like that. It really, really does help me. Big yourselves up, and thank you so much. I hope you've really enjoyed the content. Look, there's going to be more. Sorry, actually, before I go, I do want to put something to you. Look, basically, over the years, I put on a bit of weight. And what I was thinking of doing is start recording my progress. I'm going to call it the rebuild of the Irish Hotspur. And I'm going to start recording my process, like, me out on runs, telling you, basically how tough it is to get back into it and stuff like that. I've become very unhealthy. I smoke a lot of fags, I drink fizzy drinks, all this sort of stuff. And I'm trying to rebuild myself. So, if it's something that you think you'd be interested in, let me know. But the reason why I want to do it is because even if there's one person out there I can inspire, just one, it'd be absolutely amazing. But anyway, look, lads, the Harris Army, thanks very much. Thanks very much to Marcelo. Thanks very much to Charlie. Thanks very much to all the super chatters. I have to sign off. I'm on my way to Matty Hayes' channel. Tune in now for the podcast. In Jose we trust. Come on,
Come
you
on,
Spurs.
you Spurs. Come on.